Hello everyone, welcome back to the session. Today we are going to learn about animal tissues. So what are animal tissues? So these are the tissues that are found in animals. There are four major types of animal tissues that are epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue and nervous tissue. So let's start with epithelial tissue. These tissue line body surfaces and cavities as well as form glands. The cells of the tissue are closely connected to each other via cellular junction, and because epithelium is found on the edges of the organ, it has two distinct surfaces. The apical surface is exposed to the body cavity or exterior, while the basal surface is adjacent to the underlying tissue. Epithelia contains no blood vessels, so they are non-vascular and are dependent upon the underlying connective tissues for nutrients. So, let's study all these three one by one. So, epithelial cells can be one of three shapes: squamous or flattened, cuboidal or columnar shape. If the epithelium consists of one layer of cell, then it is known as simple epithelium. Stratified epithelium is one which has more than one layers. The combination of cell shape and the number of cell layers is used to classify epithelial tissue. That is, simple columnar epithelium would consist of a single layer of column-shaped cells. The cell shape in stratified epithelium can vary, but the shape of the cell at the apical surface determines the same. The main function of epithelial tissue varies depending on its location. The simple squamous epithelium comprises the inner lining of blood vessels, where it provides a smooth surface that reduces friction as blood travels through the vessels. The blood vessel slides shows a cross section of artery and veins. So here these structure can shows that how the veins and the arteries are being seen in a microscope. The simple cuboidal epithelium is the cells which are present in the tubules of the kidney and are composed of single layer of cuboidal cells. These cells are active in absorption and secretion of various substances from or into the kidney filtrate, which helps in formation of urine. Simple columnar epithelium is also present in the intestinal lining is a simple columnar epithelium. The primary function of these cells is absorption of nutrients. These are large, oval-shaped nuclei and are positioned near the basal edge of the cell. These are glandular cells that secretes mucus that helps in protection of the underlying tissues. The next, stratified squamous epithelium are the cells which is lying in the stomach or esophagus. These are apical cells which are present on the apical side of the cell. The primary function of these epithelium is protection. Cells at the apical surface can be scraped away, but the layered nature of epithelium ensures that the underlying tissues are protected. The epidermis, that is the most superficial layer of the skin, is composed of stratified squamous epithelial cells that contain large quantities of the protein keratin. Keratin is a tough fibrous protein that offers protection from abrasion and water loss. The new cells are produced at the basal surface of the epithelium and are gradually pushed towards the apical surfaces. As they move upwards, they become filled with keratin and eventually die, forming a layer of dead cell. Keratin-filled cells on the apical surfaces of the epidermis. The upper layer contains the epidermis and wear and tear happens and the lower layers comes up, and this process goes on. The dermis, which lies deep into the epidermis, is composed of connective tissue. So now we are going to study about the connective tissue in our next slides.